The Fortune Teller. Manikpur was a prosperous village. Most of the villagers were farmers. They kept busy when their fields demanded their attention. At other times, they found relaxation in festivals and some such engagements. Being simple hearted men and women, they easily believed in wandering mendicants. Beggars too received alms to their satisfaction. Outside the village, there was a field. A weekly market was held there. There were a number of ready made huts there with shopkeepers occupied only on the market days. Once a mendicant camped in one such hut. He had two disciples with him. They roamed about in the village and informed the people that the mendicant was an expert fortune teller. They narrated many anecdotes of his success with celebrities. How he predicted the death of a certain queen, how to a merchant who had lost his ship he told in which harbor his ship was, and so on and so forth. The villagers flocked to meet the mendicant. The mendicant would take down a visitor's name on a scrap of paper and retire into another room. After a few minutes, he would come out and narrate some incidents of the visitor's past. The visitor would be impressed. The mendicant, before telling the visitor anything about his future, would realize his fees. Nobody grudged giving him fees. A holy man who could speak correctly about the past would, of course, be able to speak correctly about the future. The young Vinod had come to visit his uncle at Manikpur. He too paid a visit or two to the mendicant. But somehow he felt that the fellow was a false mendicant. The way the mendicant realized his fees appeared to him a business trick. Why does the holy man retire into another room after taking down a visitor's name? He asked one of the two disciples of the holy man. How can he know the visitor's past or future unless he meditated on him? Said the disciple. Instead of satisfying Vinod, the answer aroused a keener curiosity in him. That night he sat behind the hut hiding in a pit. When all was quiet, he heard the inmates of the hut talking. He came crawling close to the hut and pressed his ear against it. More than half of the men of Manikpur have visited us already. It is time for you to begin paying trips to another village. Put on your disguise with care. You should look like real beggars. Secondly, try to collect more information about the events in the lives of as many villagers as you can. The mendicant was heard telling his disciples. Vinod now understood their method of action. He waited there till they fell asleep. He then crept into the hut and after some search found a notebook and some false beards. He slipped out with them. Back at his uncle's, he lighted a candle and examined the notebook. It contained the names of most of the villagers. Against each name was jotted down some major events of his life, like his suffering from smallpox, his father's death, etc. Vinod smiled and went to bed. In the morning, with some of the villagers, he arrived at the mendicant's hut. After the first visitor had told his name, the mendicant went in. But rather a long time passed, yet he did not come out. His disciples then announced that the mendicant had taken ill and that he would not be able to see visitors. But he looked quite hale and hearty, exclaimed Vinod. He then pushed in right to the mendicant's presence. Don't vex me, yelled the mendicant. Don't you worry, holy man. On your behalf, I can tell these men the events of their past. So far as their future is concerned, well, I can't say anything. It is different with you. Once you have foretold things, you will not be seen again. But I have to come here again and again. They will take me to task if I bluff them, said Vinod. Then he opened the notebook and read out the past events from the lives of those present. The villagers stood bewildered. Vinod put an end to their bewilderment by bringing out those false beards and holding them up to the chins of the two disciples. These two fellows were visiting our village as beggars, exclaimed the villagers. More villagers gathered there. They took hold of the three cheats and handed them over to the police. My brothers, there may be astrologers who can predict your future, but they are rare. They won't come looking for you. You have to go looking for them, Vinod told the villagers. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Do provide your feedback in the comment section below. Thanks for listening.